This is the Voice of the Land podcast with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Nick Paulus.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome on in to another edition of the Voice of the Land here on the Big Play Network and partnered with LPV Productions. I am one of your hosts, Kevin Arnold, and alongside me, as always, ready with his hot takes, my brother, Nick Paulus, and of course, our producer extraordinaire on the ones and twos behind the board, Peter Tellup. Of course, we are being brought to you by Vector Technical, the right person, the right job, the first time, and DP Construction LLC. Reach out to them for all your concrete construction needs. Reach out directly to our buddy, Tyler LaFrada at gmail.com. Again, that's Tyler LaFrada at gmail.com. Or you can always give him a call, 330-217-4999, 330-217-4999. Tonight, it is hot outside. It is hot in the studio, and I'm sure hot takes are going to be flying all over the place. We are going to get into everything going on in the sports world. Kind of quiet around the Cleveland scene right now, except for the baseball team who still can't figure out who they really are. We keep asking, who are you? Who? But we will try to maybe dive into that a little bit deeper tonight. Before we do that, of course, there was a big trade in the NFL, Julio Jones. So not quite official, but pretty much official, going to the Tennessee Titans. We will get into our reaction there as he now switches from the NFC over to the Browns AFC and what that could do to the AFC powers. We'll give our top 5 power rankings for AFC teams, and we'll talk about NBA playoffs, Luka Doncic going off, but of course in a losing effort today, and everything else going on in the NBA playoffs, people getting down on LeBron like they always do. I may have a hot take or two there. We'll see. And Paulus, you you were in the Olympics yesterday, man.
Yeah, somewhat of the Olympics. Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. We are going to get to that final segment here for us, so stick around for that. Got a little video as well to make fun of myself as well. So a lot to tune in for today.
Well, there may have been some wins though yesterday in the Olympics. So
a couple, yeah.
We're gonna celebrate some championships.
There we go.
Later on in the show tonight. Of course, thank you to everyone who is tuning in. Follow us at VTL_pod. You can always catch the show there every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Unlike last week, we'll get into that later. And of course, you can always follow Paulus at CLE_Paulus, myself at Kevin7, and LPV Productions on all social media platforms. We are always live on Facebook if you are more of a Facebook user. Can't leave anybody out, of course. Big Play and Voice of the Land on Facebook is where you can find the show there. YouTube at Big Play Live. And of course, catch the audio. If you just want to listen to the sounds of our voice and you don't want to look at our faces, which is totally fine. I don't take offense to that. We don't take offense to that here. There's a reason Peter doesn't even want to be on camera at all. So if you just want to listen to the audio, go ahead and tune into Google, Spotify, Apple, all your major podcast platforms. You can catch it all there. But we do need to get things started tonight with the big breaking news in the NFL today. The Julio Jones saga has finally come to an end, sort of. They're still working out the details between Tennessee and Atlanta.
Yeah, so what it looks like, and apparently this is all pending and physical and everything like that. In exchange for Jones, the Titans will be receiving a 2022 second-round pick and a 2023 fourth-round selection from the Falcons.
Okay.
Along with Jones, the Falcons are going to be sending over a 2023 sixth-round pick to the Titans. So Titans get Jones and a sixth-round pick next year or 2 years from now. And then obviously the Falcons get a second and a fourth-round pick 2 years from now.
Right. So a guy that's produced at a high level for the Falcons.
Hall of Fame numbers.
Hall of Fame numbers over his career down there in Atlanta. Now, a guy that they got by trading up within the first round to go get from, I believe, 26 up to 6 with the old Cleveland Browns. So we're not diving into that regime.
Do you remember who the Browns took?
I don't.
Phil Taylor.
Oh, the Phil Taylor draft.
Phil Taylor is who instead of getting probably, in my opinion, a top 3 to 5 wide receiver of all time, you drafted a nose tackle
Well,
who never even re-signed with the Browns.
Well, remember, the old culture of the Browns was,
I know,
we're anemic to wide receivers.
That's true.
Remember, Ray Farmer didn't think
They only
wide receivers were needed.
They only made a couple plays a game, like a handful of plays a game.
In a league that was already well within its swing over to being a passing league. They only make a couple plays a game.
Yeah, only. Julio only has like 12,000 yards. Only a couple. Yeah.
Teams are loading up with cornerbacks and defensive backs to try to defend against wide receivers, but they only make a couple plays a game. We're just defending against a couple plays. So, oh, jeez.
Good times. Good times.
There's a reason why I don't remember those. I try not to remember those times. But I mean, just your reaction when you heard the news kind of come down today, Paul. It's like we kind of heard about it. Baltimore was the favorite for a long time, and one reason Browns fans wanted Julio was to basically be a move to keep him from going to Baltimore.
Stick it to Baltimore.
Still comes to the AFC, but he's not in the division, facing him twice a year. Any reaction in terms of how that impacts the AFC, or just overall the move for the Titans?
It makes it's a solid trade, for both teams. Now, I do laugh because I remember the Falcons saying, "Oh yeah, no, we've gotten first round offers for Julio, for our 32-year-old wide receiver. Yeah, no, we've totally got it." And then they obviously clearly they didn't have any of those offers on the table.
Well, you got to talk it up.
You have to. No, 100%. I get where that strategy is coming from, but it's just funny that literally a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, they were like, "Oh, first round picks, easy. That's what we're going for." And then you settle for a second and a fourth.
Right.
And then you have to send, a sixth over to get it. Whatever. It's chump change whenever you're trying to go for a title. And that's what the Titans are trying to do.
Yes.
And I respect them for making those moves. I was telling you, before we hopped on the show here, it reminds me of like an NFC team doing business here for us. The Cardinals. It reminds me a lot of what the Cardinals are doing.
Yep.
They're going all in with, Pro Bowlers of 2013. Like they're going Pro Bowlers of a decade ago, which, hey, to each their own. I get it, but aging Pro Bowlers are going elsewhere there for them. Now, I'm not calling Derrick Henry an aging, an over the hill running back. The guy just had 2,000 yards and was the offensive player of the year.
Right.
But he had 2,000 yards. Typically, whenever you have 2,000 yards, you tend to go down after that, a lot down after that, because there's so much mileage on you at that moment in time. So it is going to be interesting to see. I know everyone makes fun of Ryan Tannehill as a quarterback, but if you look at his numbers since he became a starter, it's as good as Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like he has, I think he has 5 more touchdowns. He has 61 touchdowns to Mahomes' 56 in the same time frame. Now Mahomes has missed a couple of games here and there, and Mahomes has like 900 more yards than him. But still, like they're both right at 61, 56, both 10 interceptions. You're essentially getting Mahomes-ish numbers in this sort of offense. Ryan Tannehill's a dude. Like I don't want to say he's not a dude, and he's not getting the respect that he deserves. Kind of how we feel Baker doesn't get that respect, but like there are levels to franchise quarterbacks, and I think that they're both kind of on that same trajectory of going up. It just took Tannehill a little bit longer to get there.
When you can find the situation where what you do best is utilized and maybe not all the pressure is on you, but you can shine in what the certain elements you do best. It's not that he's, all pro or, future Hall of Famer as of right now.
Yeah.
But what he does for the Titans is it works for the Titans. And now you pair Julio Jones with AJ Brown. They had Corey Davis there, who has now moved on to the Jets. So that's an upgrade with your top 2 wide receivers.
Agreed.
And when Corey Davis left, they've been looking for another option because, having Corey Davis and AJ Brown, just like hopefully what we're hoping here, OBJ, Jarvis, even Rashard Higgins.
AJ Brown's a stud too.
Right. AJ Brown is a stud, but defense is going to key on him. He's going to get his numbers. He's going to get big numbers. He's going to be a guy you want to draft in fantasy football. But if you can get another guy that's going to get you numbers in fantasy football or get you numbers in regular football is what the Titans front office is looking at. They don't care about your fantasy football
Right.
team. I'm just telling you right now, just being honest.
Well, and the knock on Julio was that he never scored like red zone touchdowns. I think he has like 61 for his career, which is just unbelievably a low number for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
His greatness for it. But you figure they're going to give him a lot of options down there.
Yeah. He's going to be a down the field threat, and he's going to, again, take attention away from AJ Brown. AJ Brown in turn is going to take attention away from Julio Jones. So it's a good pairing. Yeah, you don't want to see it come to the AFC, but that's, if you just look at the grand scheme of things, like we try to look at things realistically. The Titans made a good move, and in the grand scheme of things, part 2, they really didn't give up a lot for that guy. I know he's aging, but I was thinking, a first round pick was going to be involved with that. You're able to get him for a second round, 4th round, and then, Atlanta's throwing in a 6th or 7th round pick, late round pick. Titans got value with that draft or with that trade. And, teams are eyes are open right now.
Yeah.
And the AFC has eyes open right now. And there's a good group of teams that are going to be vying for that crown. Yes, until someone beats them, Kansas City is the pinnacle. They got the target on their back, and they have been willing to take that target over the last couple of years because they got their dude in Patrick Mahomes. Has your top 5 in the AFC changed with this Julio Jones move, though?
Well, I don't know if it's changed. It may have, because I think that they are on par. If not, that offense could be really scary.
Right.
Okay.
So, where'd you have the Titans before Julio and now after?
I had them below the Colts.
Okay.
Okay. In that division, there for us, but I'm looking at it right now. So this is last year's, but it was KC, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Baltimore, the Browns, and then the Colts. Those teams all made the playoffs. That was the top 7 teams there for us. I'm looking at KC, still number 1.
Still number 1.
Okay.
Same with me.
Talent-wise, it has to be the Browns. They are a complete football team. I'm going to see a lot in I don't want to judge everything off of game 1 of the year, because we saw what happened at, the last couple of years, game 1s, for the Browns, the last 20 years for the game, for game 1.
We already
for the Browns.
said we can't pick them until they prove us otherwise. And we're rooting for them to prove us wrong.
Exactly. But I am very intrigued as to what happens versus KC game 1. That being said, I really do believe the Browns are the second best team right now in the AFC. Then it's probably the Buffalo Bills, and then probably the Ravens, you would think, as a top 4 team there for us. I think the Steelers have fallen off. I truly do. It's hard for me not to pick the Colts as the winner, because I think that they are a much more complete team offensively and defensively. And if they nailed the Carson Wentz pickup, which I think that they may have, because Frank Wright is the quarterback whisperer for him.
Yeah.
If they nailed that, I think that moves them in the top 5 there for us. That being said, if Tennessee can figure out how to play defense, they'll be top 5.
Yeah. And having Vrabel there, I mean, it's kind of weird that they can't figure out how to play defense.
It is a little weird, but a lot of times if you're the head coach of the team, it takes your focus away from that said part of the team, because you have so much trust in all of your assistant coaches and everyone like that. Kind of like how Belichick was. There was a point in time whenever they had the number 1 offense, with Tom Brady slinging the ball, and Belichick, I'm not sure how involved he was on the defense whenever his mindset was probably in special teams, the offense, literally everywhere, and they still had solid, defenses, but it was nothing like, he is the greatest defensive coordinator of all time. You would think that, his teams would show that as well. It's not every year.
It's not every year. No, but you got to, at some point, if you are a defensive guy or you're an offensive guy, if you're going to get your team to the peak, that side of the ball better be on point. You can get the other side, you can prove you can do the rest of football by getting the offense, the special teams going. But if the side that the best isn't going, you got to get it going.
No doubt.
Now, if I were to just kind of wrap this up with a top 5 of my own, I want to put the Browns up there. Like Kansas City already number 1. We both already said that.
Agreed.
I want to put the Browns number 2. Like that's the orange and brown color glasses that I got on. I'm not saying that that's why you put them there, because on paper they should be number 2.
Yeah.
And they have a chance to prove things in game number 1. But right now I would still put the Buffalo Bills at number 2. I would even put the Baltimore Ravens ahead of the Browns at number 3, because that's a team that you're going to have to beat consistently and not just splitting. Sometimes,
and that's fair.
In order to win the AFC North, the other team, whether it's Baltimore or Pittsburgh, still finds a way to be good. You're going to have to beat one of those twice to win the AFC North.
Honestly, you have to beat them both. At least 3 out of the 4 times.
3 out of the 4 times, you're going to have to beat Baltimore and Pittsburgh to win the AFC North.
Right.
So then I would have the Browns 4th, which I know is going to take off a lot of Browns Twitter or whatever. But for right now, I have the Browns 4th and then Tennessee 5th.
Okay.
I think like Tennessee moved up into my top 5 by Julio coming in. They would have been like 6 or 7. So they move up a spot or 2.
Okay.
But so it's not like that impactful, but it is that impactful.
If you win the division as you do, have them winning, with them being in the top 5. Yeah, no, it's very impactful.
It is. So it's going to be interesting to see how those things kind of translate, because what you see on paper every year is different. And that's why I like that everybody's going to be talking about the Browns really don't talk. The word is all over the facility. If you've seen Building the Browns, work, because you're going to have to earn it again this year. And it's going to be a tough ride, but it's going to be a fun one. What hasn't been a fun ride has been the roller coaster that has been the Cleveland Indians. We will get into that on the other side of this break. Where are we with this team? What the heck happened up in Baltimore? We'll dive into all of that on the other side of this break. You're watching The Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Whether you're looking to hire new talent or start a new career, Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that has helped thousands of job seekers advance in their career with reputable partners throughout Northeastern Ohio. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. With an above-average hire-in rate of 1 in 4 candidates, Vector works hard to connect the right person with the right opportunity the first time. Vector Technical hires for skilled manufacturing and light industrial work and is sure to have a career that you've been looking for. To learn more, visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com.
I really wish it would catch on, but every time I watch a Cleveland Indians game, I can't hear anything else but the Who singing in my head. Who are you? Who? Because we still don't know. This team is above 500, but when they go up against teams outside their division and even the worst teams in baseball at that time, somehow we are the magic elixir for all of those teams. When the Yankees came into town, who was the magic elixir for the Yankees? The Cleveland Indians. When the Minnesota Twins came in at the bottom of the AL Central, and even, I believe, the American League at that time, who was the magic elixir that weekend for the Minnesota Twins? Your one and only Cleveland Indians. And you head to Baltimore, and they haven't been playing very well. Their starting pitching came in actually playing pretty well, but making a lot of mistakes. They're at the bottom for a reason, because Baltimore still isn't good. And who was the magic elixir again? Oh, that's right. Those Cleveland Indians on the corner of Ontario and Carnegie. Boy, oh boy.
You're being very nice, by the way. Like
you can tell,
you are being a sweetheart right now to this trash team right now.
I am trying so hard to take every single pause where a word that we don't tend to say on this show would come out of my mouth to make sure that it comes out in a very professional manner,
in a proper and elegant fashion.
But when you lose 18-5 to Baltimore, what are we doing? Like, honestly, what are we doing? We don't have, I know we're dealing with injuries right now, but it's still unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and it is trash.
It is garbage. It is hot garbage mixed in a dumpster fire. It is bad, Kevin. And like, you can't lose 2 out of 3 to the worst team in the major leagues, which is exactly what Baltimore was. Coming into this series, they had 19 wins.
But I
believe
told you
they
who they are, though. I figured out who the Indians are. The Magic Elixir.
They are apparently. Like, I guess we just have to face the best organizations.
So
Yep.
we need to play an inter-squad game, is what you're saying.
Well, we got to
Oh.
do. There we
Oh.
go. Yeah, no.
Hey.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Get our batting averages up there for us. This pisses me off more than anything else in the world. The fact that you lose 18-5. It just blows my mind. How do you do that after winning 10-4? Like, I almost want to discount Friday because like you lose 3-1.
Yeah.
It was off of the the fan interference home run call, and you're like, every once in a while people get lucky,
Right, right.
Like, I'm okay with losing that game.
Bad teams are going to win. Like, there's no team in baseball that's going to go 0-162.
Exactly. You're gonna afford that loss. And then they came out and won 10-4 yesterday.
Right.
I was like, you know what? Good for you.
Right.
Good for you, Try. Bounce back game. And then I was coming into this game going like, let's smack him again. Like, let's just show him who daddy is. And they showed you who daddy was.
Yes, I was like, someone did.
Someone did.
Someone showed you.
And
Daddy.
that's even with Bobby Bradley,
Mm.
doing, a great game today.
right.
Like, finally we got someone up here that can hit a ball, and play first base.
So,
That's pretty awesome. Like, thank God. He's
Who'd
not
have
like
thought?
he's not the reincarnation of Jim Thome either. But like, thank God we got someone up here that can hit a ball every once in a while. Understandably so. Like, it's a good start. I'm expecting a lot of strikeouts,
yeah.
but
Right. And
but as long as he
that's
hits a couple
baseball.
of exactly. He hits a couple of doubles. He got a home run today. He was your offense. Like, that's exactly what you're looking for out of him.
so we go through the first part of this year and we're contending for the top of the L Central while we're on a roller coaster, but we have question marks at first base. We're wondering when Bobby Bradley's going to come up here. Then Bobby Bradley comes up here. He starts playing well.
Yeah.
We feel like we solve first base and everything else just falls apart.
Yeah. It feels like our pets' heads are falling off. Like, it is a bad time right now.
Is first base, like figuring out answers to first base for the Indians, is that like fitting a square peg in a round hole?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Like, this should solve it. Because once again, you're gonna have boomer bust days with Bobby Bradley.
You are.
And as long as you can accept that, Cleveland fans, we're gonna be okay. Like, I never look at Chang and go like, you know what, like, boomer bust. Here we
Yeah.
go. Like, I look at him, I go, pop out. Here we go. like this is what I expect.
Yep.
You throw anyone there at first, and they're trying to do everything. They want to put Josh Naylor there so bad, and I just don't get it. Leave him in the outfield. Just let it be.
See, I actually want to see him play at first base more.
Do you?
Because I think he's lost in the outfield.
I
know
he's lost anywhere.
And I know he made those errors early in the season, but
Yeah.
that's like, you see that more with younger players that now you're like, I got to get their bat in the lineup. So like, let me try him here. Let me try him there. Let me give him this. Well, they were a natural first baseman, but we feel like we have first baseman, but you don't. And so let guys, if you want their bats in the lineup, they're going to be anyways. Let them play where they're naturally going to play.
Do you feel like any comfort level with anyone out there on the mound other than Shane Bieber, Zach Plesac, and like Emmanuel Clase? Oh, and Karinchak. Savali? Okay.
I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, that's it. If there's anyone else out there,
And Karinchak's testing that right now.
yeah.
But guys go through rough stretches. It's
Sure.
a long season.
And he went through a great stretch
He
last
did.
year and then hit a little bit of a rough patch. And, he sort of looked like he figured it out at the beginning of this year. And
it's guys adjusting to him. I mean, there's
Of
film
course.
on him. So,
of course.
it's how can you adjust back? Like, it's an ebb and flow, especially with relievers, because certain guys are going to come into certain situations out of that bullpen. So it's like, hey, like we're down one, or, we're tied right now. This is what he's going to be throwing in that situation. We're ready for it. We're prepared.
Yeah. I can't. I hate when we got to do these freaking bullpen games, man. like
Yeah.
every single day, because it's taxing our bullpen, which is a solid bullpen. If it is set up the right way,
Yeah.
how it should be used, how a bullpen should be used from inning, like 6 and beyond,
Right.
like you are set up for the 6th, 7th, and 8th, 9th. You are done. That's how it should be done. But it isn't, because we got to keep going through all this stuff. And once again, like you're absolutely right. We're running through some injuries right now. We're really taxing a lot of things going on for
We
us.
are. But no excuse to lose
But no
18-5.
Not to the Orioles.
No.
This isn't the 27 Yankees. Like, this is a god awful Orioles team that you went into Camden Yards and like you lost to them.
Yeah.
Probably in front of 14 fans. Like, there's no one that wants to go to an Orioles game. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know how you lose that game other than you just didn't give a damn. Like, that's what it came down to. The fact that you won yesterday and you rested on your laurels and just said, it is the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah.
They are the worst
They
team in
got
the
one
league.
over on us because they got a call.
Right.
And
But you can't do that. That's exactly how we felt. You remember Browns of 2019?
yep.
Against the Titans. Hey, let's just go out there. Let's throw the footballs out on the field and we'll win 40-0. And then you got blown out 43-13. Like,
Man, you see what we got on paper versus what they got on paper, and let's just go play and we're gonna win.
right.
It
And
didn't work.
it blows my mind how people do that
Yeah.
all the time. And professional athletes, not even like collegiate or high school dudes, like, you get paid to do this, to give it your all. And these guys come out here and just suck. They just suck. And it's the pitching right now that bothers me, especially after giving up 18 runs, 7 in the first 2 innings. Like,
Right.
you're already done. You're done. And we had 5 runs today, which for us is a lot.
Yeah. Because you don't have a 4th and 5th starter.
No, you don't.
Especially with
That's why this bullpen stuff kills me.
I mean, luckily, JC Mejia has pitched well enough
He has.
to kind of earn that starting role, and that start got wasted the other
It
night.
did.
But with Plesac down, you only have 2 guys in your rotation. The rest of them, you're hoping for outlandish performances from these guys. And what used to be a strength in development for the Indians is they are searching, scratching, clawing for answers. Like, I know Tito's pissed and he's frustrated
As he should be.
because he's getting the information from the minors. He's getting information from, his bullpen guys, which guys he can trust in these circumstances. And they do trust him. Like, if anything, Tito is loyal to a fault, but that's one of the better faults that you can have, is being loyal to your players, because those are the players that are going to go out there and play for you. And why the Indians have been able to be over 500 all 8 seasons that Terry's been here. And they've been able to compete for playoff spots, AL Central titles, even a World Series title back in 2016. Yeah, it always takes people by surprise when the Indians are there, but it shouldn't when Tito is at the helm. And now it just seems like everything is coming crashing down around, and the one constant piece that you can at least hang your hat on for right now is Tito. One of the best managers.
And he is. He is one of the best managers, if not the best in the game. I think everyone can agree on that.
Right. But there's only so much you can do with what you have. And I think Tito is exhausting everything that he knows. He's working with Sandy Alomar. He's working with his staff and working with the front office to say, look, this is what we got. I'm trying everything I have. Injuries are killing us right now, but we gotta find some answers. We can't play down to our competition. That was the one thing, though. That was the one and only thing. You guys know how big of a LeBron fan I am, and we'll get into him here in just a minute on the other side of the break. Yeah. But when he was here, the only thing that frustrated me the most from LeBron and the teams he was with was we're good enough to get a spot in the playoffs, and it doesn't matter if we're the 1 seed or not. I'm gonna go on the road. I'm gonna shut fans up. So they'd play down to competition. You'd watch during the regular season. It was so frustrating to watch. And then they come out in the postseason and it's night and day. They're really able to flip the switch, but I think he thought he could flip the switch one too many times. unfortunately, with the Lakers. But we'll talk about that here in a second. Do you want to shout out our boys from Illegal Ham to the Face? You just did their show.
I was going to give them shout out at
Yeah.
the very end. Yeah.
Saw their
Jared
comments
Bry.
coming in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I didn't have that
Yeah.
up. But yeah, Jared, Bry, Vinny. Thank you guys for having me on. That was an awesome time. We had a great night. Out there. It was out at Mulligan's out in Strongsville. Yeah. Great time. Great little bar.
Great food.
Yeah. Yeah. They had potato skins. They hit me up beforehand. They're like, "Hey, what do you want?" I was like, "It's bar food, mozzarella sticks, fries, something, whatever."
I mean, the appetizers.
Yeah. And Jared was like, "Oh, no. Don't you worry. I got you." So yeah, potato skins, things were huge. They were great. They were so damn good. Oh my God. Yeah, no, definitely go out there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And once again, shout out to Legal Ham in the Face. Such a fun pod. You've been on with them before.
Been on with them, yeah, out live and just in the recordings and stuff too. And I know they're looking to do more live shows than just the one a month for eateries. So big things coming from our brothers from another pod.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Brothers from another pod, and maybe we'll get one of them on here one day as well.
Yeah, we definitely will. Yeah,
they bring us on as guest hosts. We'll get one of them on. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
Don't worry.
Return the favor.
But shout out to you guys. I see you guys are commenting. We'll shout you out again later in the show. But we do need to catch another break. Of course, if you need some Voice of the Land gear, we have the shop for you. All the details here in this break. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you struggling to hire the right talent or maybe even find the right career? Vector Technical makes it easy. Since 1992, Vector has provided Ohio employers with a reliable process for hiring and have helped thousands of job seekers advance in their careers. Vector Technical is more than just a temp agency. We invest time to get to know each client and candidate personally. Vector places people in job opportunities that they are truly excited about. Interested in learning more? Visit our website at www.vectortechnicalinc.com to see a full list of our current job opportunities and to find out what Vector Technical can offer you.
Get your gear at voiceoftheland.com/shop.
The NBA playoffs are off to a hot start, and the Clippers today were the last team, I believe, to make it into the second round. A heated series between them and the Mavericks, really Luka Doncic, but we'll get into that here in a second. Got to ask you though, Paulus, how much of the NBA playoffs have you been able to see?
Honestly, a couple of games. I really haven't been focusing on it as much as what I probably should, because I'm not that interested. Just flat out honest with you. The moment LeBron lost, and I'm not the world's greatest LeBron fan or anything like, nowhere near your level, and your level there for us, and that's fine. More power to you. I respect the king. I'm thankful he was here. Blah blah blah. Everyone says the same thing. But he's gone, and now it's like, what do I watch? Like, do I want to watch the Clippers? No, I would have much rather watch Luka Doncic. Out there balling out, and he balled out, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. I did watch that first half, and then I had to drive up here, so I didn't get to catch the second half. But I was watching that game. I would much rather watch him play than Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers, and just pass on that. But I honestly, and my wife's over, my wife's sitting over there. I've been watching more softball than anything.
Really?
Yeah. Women's softball. I've been watching a lot of that. We had the Saturday morning show, the Paul and Wild Colt show, ESPN Cleveland 850 on Saturday morning. And I tried to stay up and watch a softball game. I can't remember who it was, Alabama versus, I want to say UCLA.
Okay.
And I tried to stay up for it. I passed out in third inning. Come to find out, it was a perfect game. So I miss out. It was Montana Fouts. It was her birthday as well. So happy birthday to her. It was a great birthday present. So, good for her. But Yeah, I've actually been watching much more softball than I have NBA basketball. And if you would have asked me that 5 years ago, like, hey, what do you think you'd be watching? No chance in hell I would have been watching softball. So it's really weird for me right now because I'm assuming, the Cavs would have been in,
Right.
5 years ago, but right now, I haven't watched much basketball. Playoff basketball, and that's typically the time I start watching. The end of February, March is whenever I really kick in and start knowing all of the teams better and everything like that. But it just hasn't grabbed me this year, as apparently the ratings are down too. So it hasn't grabbed a lot of people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched as much as I would like to.
Yeah,
but it's actually it's actually weird that you say that you guys are watching more softball.
Yeah,
I'm actually surprised we're not watching more softball.
Okay,
because she
little opposites right now. Okay,
she of course, fiance is big into softball and and baseball and everything. So, but we've actually been watching X-Men.
X-Men,
yeah, because she wanted to
like the TV show or the movies,
the movies.
Okay,
so she wanted to catch up on some of the Marvel Universe, or some of those movies that were out before MCU really became a thing.
Yeah.
She wanted to catch up on those. I didn't realize how much I forgot about those first three because I was like, this looks like a new movie to me. But I've seen them. It was just like, this looks like a new movie. So we've been going through the main X-Men. We haven't gotten to the X-Men.
So has she seen 1, 2, and 3 then?
1, 2, and 3.
What's her favorite?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Okay.
I was kind of going through all 6 of the main main ones. We're through First Class. So X-Men First, when they revamped it to go back to when Charles and Eric met each other.
The whole was it the Missile Crisis?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got Kevin Bacon as he's
a good villain. Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He really was. So we've been watching more of that than we watch baseball. We watch the Indians, of course, and then those movies. So
what's your favorite X-Men movie out of all of them?
Out of all of them,
sure.
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Days of Future Past.
When they mix everyone in together, that's a great one.
Yeah,
I love that one. That really rebooted everything, and then it went to trash soon after that with Apocalypse, and I hadn't even seen the last one. What was the last one?
Was that Logan?
No, Logan's awesome.
Okay.
I view Logan
but
as
Apocalypse was the last one then.
It was Apocalypse and
did they do another one after Apocalypse?
Yeah, it was the Dark Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a trash one apparently.
So I was kind of thinking of Dark Phoenix along the lines of the specific character movie, like they do the Wolverine ones. They have so is Dark Phoenix more of an ensemble, but with a focus on her? So
what it's the rebooted franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It's the final one. Basically, from my understanding, Fox wanted to. They had the rights of them for one more year, and they were like, "We got to put out a movie. We got to make another 100 million. A couple 100 million," and they put out the Dud of all duds. And so it's what.
And I haven't seen it, so I was just like, but when you're dud of all duds, and when you're
it's
when they have to put out a movie just to keep the franchise going.
That's what they did. Yeah, they put out the movie of Dud of all duds, but now the X-Men are in Marvel's hands. Disney Pluses, and so that'll get rewritten.
Yeah, that'll be taken care of.
Yeah, Days of Future Past though, awesome. I love X-Men 1. X2 is a solid one.
Yeah, it's a solid one.
X3, not great.
Right. You're waiting for more coming out of it. It's good, but it's it's just I'll sit down, I'll watch it, but not have to go back and go through all the time to watch it.
But Logan,
see, what I heard about Logan, similar to Deadpool, I love some of the clips I've seen of Deadpool and some of the clips I've seen of Logan, but I know that it's much more intense, not fantasy, theatrical superhero stuff. It's real life type, maybe gore or realism situation type thing. Those are the movies I don't get into as much.
Not your cup of tea.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Which
But
one?
Deadpool's
Deadpool?
Is-
Deadpool's good. I like Deadpool. I didn't really care for Deadpool 2. Just whatever.
It wasn't that great.
It-
The first one was good.
Right. Yeah. It had its moments. Don't get me wrong. It had its moments. But Deadpool 1, solid movie. Logan, though. Logan's a top 5
Mhm.
comic book movie for me. And
Okay.
I'm a much more, and this is where we, tend to
Mm.
differ on,
Right.
on our comic book movies. Cause I love the real life, the realism
Okay.
of certain
Yeah.
things. Now, obviously, Wolverine could never happen.
Yeah.
Claws, so there's
There's still
obviously
the-
fantasy,
Yeah.
but it is a much more realistic take than, let's say, Thor or,
Yeah.
or anything like that. And I love those movies too. Like Ragnarok and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love that stuff. But for me, Logan is a top 5 movie, along with like The Dark Knight and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
those-
So
I like those are the ones. Dark Knight, like Batman with with
Christian
those,
Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. Like those are the ones I've gotten into that I guess are along those lines. Like if you're telling me that Logan is similar to that, but maybe with a little bit more, I can probably get through it.
Yeah.
But I it's gonna take a minute to
I
get
don't.
to that point.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if Logan's your cup of tea. I think you should watch it because, like, it might be. It very well could be. But it is. I mean, it is a dark movie, and like I'll put it to you that way. It's a dark movie.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people liked Joker.
Yeah.
That's the reason why everybody liked Joker is why I didn't like it. Like I totally understand why
Sure.
people liked it, but not my cup of tea.
Did you ever see Logan?
I haven't.
You haven't. Okay. It is so Joker is all about like the mental breakdown of a human being. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
And they're coming out with a Joker too, which
yeah.
I don't know how I feel
I
about,
know.
because like I thought that was just going to be a one and done thing, which I thought one and done awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're going to rehash it. Like, how do you unless you bring in other
Money.
villains?
Money.
Oh well, clearly money, yeah. But I was more hoping
He's
for
script. He's going deep,
Right.
dig and dive and deep into that script.
no doubt. But Logan, much more of the physical breakdown
Yeah.
of a character.
Okay.
And for me, like to see Wolverine vulnerable,
Mhm.
it gives you a sense of
does.
like reality.
Okay. Well, something to check out, but some duds in there. I don't know
Yeah.
about Dark Phoenix anymore, but I guess with our conversation going that easily into the superhero stuff, maybe the NBA playoffs are a dud of the dud.
Yeah, it tells you about the NBA playoffs.
Right.
There.
So I think the NBA playoffs has been a coming out party for the young guys, like the new guard of the NBA. Not one guy that's going to be the face with, a couple other stars and kind of trailing behind.
Mhm.
I feel like there's going to be some back and forth coming up very soon. Now the Nets look like the odds-on favorite with the Lakers gone, and Utah Jazz, number 1 seed in the West. Can they fulfill that? Well, Donovan Mitchell's real, and then they got Rudy
He's a bad
Gobert.
dude. He's a bad dude.
Rudy Gobert in the middle. I mean, watching Mitchell versus John Morant, saw a couple of those games. Mike Conley. And then, of course, Clippers and Dallas, Luka Doncic coming out party. I think 3 of the 7 games scored over 40 points, averaging about 36 points a game. Unfortunately, it came in a losing effort, but
Yeah, so I have all of his his stats here for us. So he went in 1 to 7,
yeah,
31, 39, 44, 19. That was the 106 to 81 loss. So they got blown out. Then 42, 29, and then in game 7 today, he only had 46 points.
only
In
46.
45 minutes, he scored 46 points.
Man,
That's doing pretty well.
slightly over a point a minute. Well,
Yeah. And the
that's-
fact is,
it's
and they lost
efficiency.
126 to 111. And like the
Yeah.
fact that you had 40% of your points, like come on. Like
Yeah.
you got to find that guy some help. And like, I hope he gets the help because I would love to see him stay in Dallas.
Yeah,
and not-
Porzingis isn't the answer to
He
be his number
isn't.
2.
He
He's
isn't.
not.
But like, if you try and find him a star, I was looking at some of the free agents that are coming up, and like, Kawhi's going to be a free agent. But now that they won, like, if they lost today, I think Kawhi was on the move.
Yeah.
I think Kawhi was looking to go elsewhere.
Mhm.
Now that he's on to the second round, if they can get deeper into the playoffs, I think he stays with the Clippers. But there was a report that he was thinking about leaving, if they lost today. You got to find someone, Luka. You got to find
Mhm.
someone help for Luka. It just needs to be done.
The NBA is trending towards that duo, that dynamic duo. Except for the Nets, who still have the like the super
But
team.
Harden's out now for. It looks like he's going to be out for a minute now with that hamstring again.
And that's the thing. All three of those guys are so good. So like Kyrie and KD can carry, but all three of those guys are also injury prone. So that's going to be the biggest obstacle
No
in
doubt.
the way of the Nets. However, if the Bucks ever want to do anything, and Giannis ever really wants, because everybody talked about Giannis being that next guy, like the guy in the league, but the Bucks never get over the hump, just like the Clippers never get over the second round.
Right.
It's time. Like, I know they lost in game 1. The Kyrie, KD, once Harden went down, they led the charge. You got to get one in Brooklyn if you want any chance. If they win both of those, Nets are getting one in Milwaukee.
No doubt.
If the Nets win both of their home games and they hold serve home court advantage, they're getting one in Milwaukee. If the Bucks can find a way to win game 2, I think that gives them a bit of an edge going back to Milwaukee, because they do play very well at that arena. And those fans in Milwaukee are, they're legit basketball fans up there.
Yeah.
Team, of course, that would have drawn a lot of interest, LeBron and Lakers, and another guy that can't stay healthy, AD. Like, he was going to be one of those other next the guys. Like, LeBron is in year 18, and we are still expecting to see LeBron from year 7, 8, 9, like all those years he went to the finals. Father Time is catching up.
Sure.
He told you many years ago, at some point, Father Time is going to catch up to me. That's why he started working on the nuances of the game and bringing out his basketball IQ to feed things. Did people see maybe a disinterested LeBron in game 6 and think that he, just let it go away or whatever? Maybe. And, LeBron can get disinterested at times. To all the people that spent, like, LeBron living rent free in your head, that they just gotta, whether trolling for trolling purposes or you truly hate the guy. I mean, either way, he's getting a reaction out of you. But if you want to spend all your time like not acknowledging greatness right in front of you, because you keep going back to Michael Jordan, and half the people are going back to saying that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, didn't actually see Michael Jordan play, because a lot of you are younger than me. I am 30 years old. I only saw a few Michael Jordan games towards the end of his time with the Chicago Bulls. Like, I was just getting cognitive enough to pay attention to those games and see that. So I didn't see all of Michael Jordan. So, but I've gone back and watched tape. I've gone through all this stuff. In my lifetime, LeBron will be the greatest of our generation, of course. And I will argue, maybe in a biased circumstance, that he is the greatest of all time, greatest basketball player of all time. I mean, if you want to hate like that, that's on you. Like, I'm not going to come on here and say, like, stop hating on LeBron. He's one of the best of all time. You're denying greatness. If that's you, that's fine. But man, I ain't got time for that.
No, and for me personally, like, whenever it comes down to the greatness factor, like, for my eyes, like, I've been to quite a few Cavs games, and whenever I was out in San Diego, I went to a couple of Clipper games out there as well.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, he was playing for the Heat.
Yep.
And he put up like 46. Like, I've seen greatness,
Yes.
and like I know exactly who LeBron James is. LeBron James is the king. I will give him all the credit in the world. Now, if he's the GOAT, in my mind, he is, because like I've seen him play for the last 18 years. And to me, I think he is. Now, that doesn't, diminish what I think Michael Jordan, accomplished. And a lot of people bring up, like the whole Jordan documentary, that they had last year that came up that rehashed a lot of this, coming out. Like, I get it, like, everyone has their own GOAT. I guarantee you the generation before our parents who all view Michael Jordan as the GOAT, all viewed Bill Russell or Kareem the GOAT. Like everyone has their own GOAT.
And there was other players that were like behind them, like the Iceman George Gervin,
No doubt.
Moses Malone.
Right.
Like the ones that
Wilt
Chamberlain.
like there's a lot of guys. I'm sure George Mikan was the GOAT at one point in time as well. Like I guess my whole thing is like you shouldn't be casting stones at LeBron at season 18. There for him, because like were we casting stones at season 18 for Jordan? Oh no, he never made it there.
Right.
Like that's the point. The guy's never made it there. LeBron's built his body of work over 18 straight years and has the most wins. I mean, he's played the most games literally like ever, especially in the playoffs. I saw, you know what?
Seasons, I think.
Hold on. I have the photo right here. Hold on.
We'll let you look that up here in the break. We'll catch a break.
Right here, right here. Real quick.
All right.
All-time playoff rankings. First in games, first in minutes, first in wins, first in plus minus, first in points, first in steals, first in field goals, first in free throws, second in assists, second in three-pointers, behind Steph, which will never get past.
You never catch.
Right.
No.
Second in triple doubles, sixth in double doubles, sixth in rebounds, and 10th in blocks. Christ almighty, can you cut the guy some freaking slack?
And if he plays most of next year instead of going on a load management, he could be the first 30-10-10 guy. 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000
He's going to get
assists.
there.
He's going to get there.
He's going to get there.
He's going to get there. So
just calm down, America. Like he is it. Whether you have Jordan or LeBron, if you say it's anything other than those two, like just stop talking. You don't know basketball.
Right.
That is it.
Right. Like Jordan, LeBron, great players. Wilt, great player. Kareem, great player.
Right.
Bill Russell, great player. Like I'm at the point of I don't want to have the debate of greatest of all time anymore.
Yeah.
I want to relish and acknowledge and respect the history of greatness in the NBA so that all of those players throughout the history get their just due.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
We're simple guys.
We're simple guys. Simple guys who perform in Olympics for countries not of our own. What type of Olympics? We'll tell you on the other side of this break. This is the Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network.
Are you looking for a career in manufacturing? Vector Technical has you covered. Vector Technical is a 28-year-old staffing firm that is partnered with some of the biggest and the best companies throughout Northeastern Ohio. The recruiters at Vector Technical will coach you through the entire job process and will help you land an opportunity that you are truly excited about. Vector does not add any additional fees and offers benefits as well as free online skills training through Penn Foster. To learn more, visit www.vectortechnicalinc.com and make sure to check out our job board to see a full list of our current opportunities and apply.
Welcome back to the Voice of the Land. Kevin Arnold alongside Nick Paulus and Peter Tubb here for our final segment. And before we get into Paulus and his Olympics and celebrating a couple championships that have been won since the last time we were on air together, Peter has a special surprise. For our very own Nick Paulus.
So we made some updates to the store here.
Okay.
And you'll see our
lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Oh, he sees it.
That is my face with a handlebar mustache on it. And it
is.
looks Nick sleeping in the chair, Paulus.
Yep.
Fitting that my wife is here and can see this. It's actually a really good picture.
We can get this on t-shirts and on a mug. So we actually have it on a mug. You can get the Voice of the Land logo
I need to get
on
that
one side and this on the other.
So well done, guys. What very well done.
That's Peter.
Peter, that is awesome. By the way, yeah, that's kind of working for me, and I like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie. My wife's over there. I'm gonna tiptoe the line again, which she knows all too well about. I kind of like this look. I kind of do. In like summertime.
Do you?
She hates it. She hates it.
Okay.
But like what I'm thinking about doing is, having, a little scruff 5 o'clock shadow, a
Mhm.
little extra, but keeping
Having
this
that thick, like thicker
just
than the.
keeping that,
okay.
yeah, keeping that a little thicker. I like it personally for like summertime because the beard gets a little warm.
Yeah,
you know,
especially
like,
on a day like today.
On a 90-degree day, and we're going to hit humidity this week.
Oh.
It is going to be a sticky one coming up, and like it's going to get hot.
That's
So
what she said.
well done. But yeah, I kind of like this. I think I might be rocking this from summers to come here for it. So we'll see how it goes. She's shaking her head over there. So I guess we'll talk about it afterwards.
So that is your ode to, what's his name? Randy Dobnak. Is that his?
Randy Dobnak. Yeah. Yeah. We cut this up for everyone that didn't know, which I'm sure you guys talked at length with Always Positive Jay about.
I mean, we talked
you
about
dabbled on it.
We dabbled on it.
Yeah,
you know,
a little bit.
I mean,
yeah, here and there.
We gotta,
Was
we gotta
Nick-
bust your chops.
Bro, absolutely.
Was Nick grounded? I mean,
Was Nick
that's-
grounded? I saw that episode come up. And I immediately hit you up. I was like, dude, like that was really good. But yeah, no, wasn't grounded. He got a little spanking though. So, you know, little
All right. What?
all
right.
You're wash our hands of that one, huh?
Yeah,
okay.
we're not getting into that.
Gotcha.
So we're going to transition here as best as we can. You were in some Olympics for Team Canada. And of course, one of our friends of show now, Ed in Columbus, chimes in saying Justin Bieber, Celine Dion, and like 75% of the NHL want to thank Nick for repping Canada yesterday in beer Olympics.
It was beer Olympics here for us. And it
now,
was
before you get into that, I think we need to start with, just like you guys did on air yesterday, a PSA, like a serious PSA.
Of
We are
course.
going to be talking about adult beverages, adults, beverage drinking games as well, but we do not condone over drinking. We do ask you all, if you do indulge in those types of beverages, please drink responsibly. And if you are unfit to drive, please always have an Uber ready or a place to stay at the party you attend, ready to go at that time. We know that drinking can be an issue for a lot of people, so please drink responsibly. But we're gonna have a little bit of fun with.
be responsible.
Be
folks.
responsible.
I was responsible yesterday.
You were responsible, just
somewhat.
somewhat. Oh, she's already
The wife more so than me, but
the reactions of your wife. Like if
we should just have a
the
camera.
I was about to
So
say.
the camera that should be for Peter should just be directly on Kelly. That is
Yes.
how this will
Yeah.
go from here on out.
Kelly reactions, and then get her like a flashing sign with him, with that thing that's on the t-shirt. And then
Ooh.
like when he's in trouble, that flashes
Just
in the
says-
house.
It just says pissed,
Pissed,
pissed, pissed. I like that. Yeah, I like that. But yeah, no. So we played beer Olympics the other day. It was sort of thrown together last minute by Tyler's wife Holly. She was on Team Ireland, I believe, yesterday. But let me give you some of the team names here for us. So it was Ireland, Germany, Canada, and I was on that team. The US of A, Italy, Scotland, Mexico, and then Russia. Russia never showed up though. The Ruskies never showed up.
Oh.
So, that was a little bit of an issue. That being said, the games that we had were beer pong, dizzy bat, four corners, which for those that don't know, it's basically a table like this, beer at each corner, one person at each corner, and you have like a little ping pong ball, and you throw the ball and you try and hit the cup. If it ricochets off the cup and runs off the ground, that person needs to pick up the beer. The person that threw it picks up their beer, starts chugging it. You have to finish the beer before you just have to finish the beer.
Yeah.
Person grabs the ball, puts it back on the table. You got to stop drinking. Like the goal is to finish your beer
before the ball's back on.
Before the other guys. Yeah, everything like that. So four corners, flip cup, shotgun relay, college, which is super complicated. It's dumb. It took 20 minutes for people to explain it, because at this point in time, everyone was drunk and had no idea what was going on.
Well, I mean, that makes 20 minutes. That's
Right.
probably like a usual like 5 minutes. Like if something
It
takes
should have been a 2-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And it turned into like a 20-minute session seminar. It was
Yeah.
bad. It was a TED talk that went totally wrong.
If it goes past like 2 minutes, I'm disinterested.
It was bad, man.
Okay.
Like we literally left right after that was
Yeah.
over. And then case race, which was basically the amount of beers that you had in that amount of time. Everyone had a trash bag, and you
Yep.
just threw everything in there, and you counted up at the very end for that.
Makes
Now
sense.
the winners of that, Mexico won, which I don't know how they did that, because I think everyone cheated. Let me put it out there like that. Literally every team cheated, I think, except for Canada. And like, I'm gonna give myself some credit, because I told them, like, we're not a bunch of cheaters. Like, hey, you hosers, we're gonna be good guys. You know, so like, so we were good.
We're
like,
not about those
we're not
cheaters.
about that life. You know, so like we eat our
That
whatever.
was a terrible.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry.
It was pretty
bro-
bad. It was-
brothers and sisters of the north. I'm
both
sorry.
of ours was pretty bad. But we had a lot of fun with it, but we weren't cheating. Like, we weren't adding random beers to our
Mhm.
bags or anything like that. Tyler and I, we did play together for or not Flip Cup, but beer pong.
Okay.
Ended up winning the gold in that.
All right. So,
So-
got a
so
winner.
Got a little winner on that. And then there was, Four Corners, our buddy Bill and Dustin, not so well on that.
Oh.
Lost, but they lost to the champs. I believe it was Germany.
Okay.
A lot of controversial moments for that, though. A lot of cheating going on for that. Flip Cup, controversial stuff with that. I apparently didn't flip a cup in time. It's on me, because I heard someone go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought we were stopping the game. People kept flipping. I was like, and
Yeah.
I was left in the dust. We ended up getting bronze in
Clip
that.
reaction right there.
Ah! We ended up getting bronze in that. So, we had fun with that. I don't even know what happened with the shotgun relay, because I wasn't there for that one. They told me it was over, but apparently they did it, and whatever. College was dumb, like I said, case race,
Mhm.
whatever. The one clip, though, that we have coming up
we
was
have a
the
clip.
Dizzy Bet, which was the second thing that we did. So a little buzzed, but nothing like too crazy. But
Yeah,
the Dizzy
you
Bet,
weren't too far
obviously,
into the day yet.
exactly.
Okay.
So and we did it that way because obviously you're spinning around 6 times. Okay, you got to do 6 rotations and then run, which was about 30 to 40 yards.
Okay.
And then run back. You had to drink a beer. It was on a table. Drink a beer, run back, and then tag your teammate, and then they start spinning and everything like that. I saw some other video footage. People were only spinning 3 times. If you count my rotations in this video, you will see 6
All right,
times.
we'll count them together,
All right.
Peter. We're going to count them together.
Take a look.
Everybody's tuning in. Count them with us.
And hilarity ensues. So clearly, Tyler's
One.
pumping me up.
2, almost going down already. 3, 4,
Come on, Nick.
5.
You got 6 in there.
I got
Oh,
6 in there.
okay.
I got 6. But look at that guy run. Look at number 99. Gretzky is on fire right now. See, everyone cheated. Everyone cheated right there.
Uh-oh.
And right there. I got sniped. Someone was on the house and clipped me, and I rolled my ankle, and it really hurts still. And so it was all bad. It was not my proudest moment. Let me put it that way.
Good form on the way down, though. I mean,
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
It could have been better. Let me put it that way. It could have been better. Clearly, we didn't win that one.
clearly.
We came in second to last. But like I said, I am 99% sure that everyone cheated on that, because there's other footage once again of of a lot of guys doing stuff.
Yeah, and they're only going like 2 or 3 times.
Seriously, Ireland and Germany are right next to each other.
Mhm.
Germany, I believe, ended up winning the silver in that race, and their third person spun 3 times and ran. And I'm like, come on. And I asked Holly afterwards, and she was like, yeah, no, I saw after the fact, yeah, everyone cheated on that. I was like, except for Canada. Like,
Don't we get anything
Yeah,
for that?
yeah, Germany should be stripped of its silver medal. Like, that's what it should be done. I'm
Man.
a little pissed.
Ooh,
You know.
Olympic controversy 2021.
It felt like Nancy Kerrigan. Like, I got clipped, 'cause someone hit me in the knee.
Ugh.
I'm still hurting. Actually, that ankle hurts a lot right now.
Man,
So
when you get that ankle, that's
Yeah.
a hard. That's a.
and in the video, we won't go back to it, but there is a slight,
I did see the
the
incline.
little hill,
Yeah, I
the
saw
little
it.
bit
I
of a
saw
hill.
it.
didn't see it coming. Didn't see it coming.
I hate it when
So-
the earth trips you.
Exactly. No doubt.
we got people chiming in on this.
It looks
This-
like I'm looking at your photo.
this is when the comments come through.
Up.
We talk about drinking, and that's when we get the comments. We talked about Julio Jones. We talked about the Indians being garbage, NBA playoffs,
Oh yeah, no,
X-Men, Marvel comic books, drinking.
drinking.
Beer Olympics is what we're getting. So, of course, Ed in Columbus is kind of singing the song, and that's in reference to and in honor of you guys winning Flip Cup gold. So,
Yeah.
congrats, as Ed in Columbus
Thank
says.
you very much.
Also says you should have had to take a breathalyzer test after the events.
You know what? Like maybe next year.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's happening next year.
Mhm.
Apparently, it got super crazy after we left.
Ooh.
We knew when to turn out. We were
Yeah.
like, you know what? Like around 8:30. Like it
All right, so you
started
guys
at
got the
4:30.
cutoff.
We knew when to
Yeah.
stop. We were like, you know what? Like let's go home. Let's just chill for the night. And it got crazy though. They were partying until like 4 a.m. Like they went hard,
Ooh.
which my 32-year-old drunk ass was not going to do that. So
Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere near even one of those events, let alone as many as they did that
Yeah.
up till 4 a.m. And of course, our buddies over at Legal Ham to the Face, they said that you guys talked about it on the show. He says, I'm pretty sure this is Jared that's tweeting right
Yes.
now. You got to claim calf strain and hit the deck.
you know what? Yeah. Pulled the Kevin Love. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pulled the
he
Kevin
it
Love.
says Kevin
Yeah,
Love.
he said it. Yeah, Kevin Love and Paul.
Yeah.
You know what? I probably should have. I probably
Yeah.
nah, I'm out 2 to 4 weeks. 2 to 4 months.
So you asked the question before we went on air
Yeah.
today, like what is your favorite? So I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Like what is your favorite from either yesterday? Did you play your favorite game, or is there another drinking game with responsibility,
Yeah.
of course?
Yeah.
And moderation, but is there a game that you've played that you like the best?
I love beer pong. I'm basic like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm solid at beer pong. Not great. The first game, so we ended up playing 3 games in order to win the whole thing.
Mhm.
And Tyler and I, so I made the first 2 cups. I'm like,
Yep.
man, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good. I can't make another cup. Tyler ended up making the next 8 cups in
carried-
order for
His back
carried
must be hurting.
carried me. The second game though, I carried him.
Okay.
He ended up making 3. I made
Even
7. I made a couple of bounces. Like
Mhm.
it was good. And then the last game we split it 5 and 5.
Okay.
And him and I back in the day, we used to be able to run stuff. So like beer pong for me, I'm good at flip cup. I'm solid. Just getting the knocking
Yeah.
up the cup and everything like that. Whenever it comes to the other sports, everything like that, I'm great at like chugging a beer. Like that is a easy thing. And yesterday I actually did a God, what was it? A beer bong. God,
Oh, okay.
I couldn't
Yeah.
think of it for.
Okay.
It's been like 5-6 years since I've done one.
Probably
like,
another 5 or 6 years.
No, dude, I'm tapping out now. Like,
Oh, you
like,
done
like,
completely.
that was the last one
All
that I
right.
did. I did it in about a second. I was like
All right.
done. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna end on a good note. So that's
Well, you
how
heard
we
it
did
here
it.
first, folks. We'll be keeping tabs on that. If we hear of Paulus entering any sort of other beer events, beer related events, we'll find out if there was a beer bong involved at all.
Right? Yeah.
Peter, you got a favorite game?
God, I don't, because it's been so long since I've played a drinking game. I can't even remember half
Yeah.
of the ones. I
Yeah.
mean, we never really did the beer pong.
Okay.
We did play a game called Asshole.
Okay.
Which,
I've heard of that.
and you'd sit around the table and it was, I can't even remember the rules of it probably because I was drunk at the time. So, but yeah, the beer bong, I haven't done a beer bong in I can't even remember.
Like I said,
College.
it's been about 5 or 6 years for me. No one has
Yeah.
a beer bong our age anymore.
Right.
We just don't do it. Guy brought it over. We just got a snap from Holly, and it said lost and found. The beer bong was right there. I was like, you should look at your cousin. That's the
Yeah.
guy that brought it. So look at Spencer. He brought it.
There you go.
But yeah, no, the beer bong was back in the day. That was easy cake. Oh my God, I'd run anyone out of the building with a beer bong. But no, that is not my forte anymore.
People are gonna think that I'm like some sort of
Thunderstruck.
thunder- All right, I played that one time.
Illegal ham, dude. Jared, well done. That is the go-to event
Yeah.
in the Muni lot. That is your go-to game.
Yeah, I played that one time and I got stuck on,
Oh, yeah.
the long gap between. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. Like, okay, so I'm one of
That
those
was a
people
game.
as
Well done.
in terms of drinking and indulging in
Sure.
adult beverages. I'm one of those people, like when I threw up the first time, when I got sick the first time,
Right.
and I said I'm never drinking again. People always mean like I'm never drinking to that level again.
Right.
I never did. Like I'll have like an occasional
Sure.
like claw because they're gluten free now, so
Yeah,
gotta
nice.
stick to the gluten free stuff.
Sure.
Or an occasional glass of wine. But
Mhm.
like I told Peter this before we went on. I was like, I don't know that I have a favorite game.
Sure.
Because I remember back in like when I was in college, I visited a couple of friends that were going to Akron.
Sure.
And I will say that the age limit was tested that day. But I tried to somehow peer pressure. I tried a shot for the first time and I
Sure.
absolutely hated it. And I was like, I'm not doing anything else. Like, just give me water.
Yeah.
You guys have some fun. Like, we'll, when
Sure.
you guys are in between games, we'll talk. They're trying to get me to play games, like all these different games. And they're like, we'll drink for you. We'll drink for you. I will not play a drinking game because if there is a consequence, a drinking consequence involved, because I don't want other people doing more than they have to and putting themselves in a worse situation on my behalf, because they know I won't drink.
Okay.
But like I'll play the occasional beer pong game, because like if it's just kind of like warm up to the party as people are like
Sure.
kind of like coming in and stuff, and there's water in the cups, like nobody's like drinking for consequence or anything.
Okay.
Because like I got like that flick of the wrist, like I got that form. So
Sure.
beer pong is my game. It's just
Yeah.
I just want pong. Like
Right,
that's the
yeah.
element that I'm there for. So
Okay.
I guess like to keep it
And
pretty
not-
simple, that's pretty much my game without the drinking part.
And I was gonna say, not everyone drinks, and
Yeah.
that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
like
I don't
to
care that
each their
people
own.
do, and I don't care that like people don't. Like it's
right.
you know,
And I'm the same way. Like, if you go to a party, if you want to have a couple of drinks, cool. If not,
Yeah.
if you want to be the sober dude there, I've been there too.
Yep.
I've been to multiple parties where like I'm the DD. It's a rare occasion, as my wife is probably gonna. That's
Yeah.
the look. That's the look, Peter. Pissed. But like, I've been the DD plenty
Yeah.
of times before as well,
Mhm.
and that's fine and dandy.
Yeah.
You can do that, and like to each their own.
each their
Exactly.
own,
To
yeah.
each their own.
I'll just say West 6th is not a place to be if you're going to be the sober person, though. That
West
is the-
6th.
West 6th.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute worst.
Yeah.
I was
Absolute
gonna
worst.
say, I went to Action U, so I did enough drinking back in college.
Right.
so.
Yeah, Jared's got a bunch of games. Kings, Waterfalls,
Edward 40 Hands was
on and on and
so,
on.
Oh yeah, no. Edward
Yeah.
40 Hands is that's a fun time, but that's a dangerous one. I'm all for it because like once again, like I can chug beer with the best of them,
Mhm.
and I'm not gonna say like
I
I'm
can
world
chug
class
water
or
with the
anything
best of
like
them.
that. I'm not gonna say I'm world class, but I'm pretty solid. I didn't get this gut by just lounging around all the time. No, I got it from lounging around a lot too, but I got it from drinking a lot of beer in my day. So
I'm a world class water chugger.
Water
I didn't
chugger?
I didn't get these skin and bones
Right.
from just lounging around. But I mean, So shout out to our guys, Illegal Hand to the Face, and of course Ed and Columbus for
Absolutely.
chiming in during that fun segment there. Those guys, Illegal Hand to the Face, they'll get into a good like liquor or adult beverage conversation of like what's the best and how to do that in moderation. They'll
food as well.
food as well.
they're
Yeah,
top notch.
those things they will get into. I will say before we get out of here, because I know we're way past the time. I do got to acknowledge, Paulus, you won a gold medal.
And you.
I won a trophy
There
last
you go,
week.
brother.
Wycliffe U13 girls travel
Congrats.
took and it was the top division. So there was two divisions. They had like a silver and a bronze.
Okay.
And we're going up against like premier teams
Sure.
and other communities that basically bringing in like club or premier players. They put them together
Sure.
from the community to try to play. There was one like our championship game. I don't know if the coaches have ever coached them before.
Yeah.
Girls were being very disrespectful to them. Like they would try to try to put them in the right place, right situation. And a couple of girls like talk back to them and were saying like, you don't know what you're talking about and stuff.
Wow.
And they just let it go. Like I would have pulled my player right
Sure,
then and there.
yeah.
But, again, to each their own. But got down to we won our first game against Premier team on Saturday, and then tied in a later game, and then bright and early 8 a.m. out there in Westlake.
Yeah.
We had to win to just make sure we took top of the table to face off against the other pool, the
Mhm.
top team from the other pool, and then we didn't play until 5:45. Didn't play till 5:45. Like there was
Wow.
such a huge
Wow.
gap between. Like my fiance and Jan and I were able to go to Crocker Park, get breakfast, go shopping, head over to Walmart to pick up a couple essentials. Like her phone was dying. She needed a charger.
Yeah.
Just a couple essentials, then go back to Dave and Buster's. So like it's in that area as Dave and Buster's out there in Westlake, play for a few hours, get to the field and still have 2 hours to lounge around in the sun before we kicked off that game.
Wow.
And of course, like this team was like, blowing out some other teams and, teams we faced off against, they were kind of scoring more goals. We held them 0-0. We had a couple chances, couldn't finish 0-0. They did this one straight to PKs.
Okay.
And, we get through the first 5, we're 4-4 and we're going second. So, our goalkeeper, I don't have permission from the parents, so I'm not going to use names, but you know who you are. Congrats to all of you. You guys earned this one. This is about you. This isn't about me. I just had to, say I had a trophy finally, but it really is about the girls. And our goalkeeper was able to save their 6th kick, and it was sudden death. We didn't tell the girls that it was sudden death, so they're thinking all 5 still got to go.
Yeah.
First girl up, right in the side netting, right where you're supposed to put it. And I'm like cheering, and I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. Game's over. You won. And of course, elation ensued. Everybody got T-shirts. So we had like a special truck in the Memorial Day parade the next day. Everybody got champions on the back of their tournament shirts.
Congrats.
And, the girls they earned it, and they've worked so hard through COVID, and all these kids have earned the right to play this season. And I can't be more proud of the girls. And it was nice to kind of take home a win because I have taken second places a lot as a coach. So it was a nice feeling. But then I was like, you know what? That's over real quick. This is about the kids. They did the work. We're just here to make sure that they're put in the right situation. So congrats out to you U13 girls out there in Wycliffe for winning the Westlake Invitational 2021. And shout out to the fiance, as I mentioned her a couple times. Birthday is on Wednesday. So
happy birthday, Jana.
We'll be celebrating with her family next weekend, so I won't be here. Possibly another guest host next week. So wanted to make sure I got that shout out. Happy birthday on Wednesday on June 9th to my fiance, love of my life, and the future is bright for both of us. Thank you so much for all you do to support me. Can't wait to show you that support on your day on June 9th. So happy birthday, Jana. But with that, we are way past our time. We are in charge, so we get to decide all these types of things for my brother, Nick Paulus, and our producer extraordinaire, Peter Tellup. I'm Kevin Arnold, reminding all of you, as I didn't get a chance to last week, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game, and we love you all. 3000 VTL on Big Play Network. Out.